Hi everybody, Shalom. The outgoing government had absolutely no initiatives in regard to the peace process, and it was quite obvious that they couldn't do anything because of coalition constraints. And neither is the incoming government going to be able to advance anything in terms of the peace process, definitely not any operative steps. So we're now in a situation where Smotrich is very likely to be the Minister of the Treasury, the head of the Treasury, and since he originally wanted the Ministry of Defense in order to have control over the Judah and Shomron and the territories, he's going to move all the functions, the administrative functions from the Ministry of Defense to the Treasury, and that means the COGAT, the Coordinator for Government Activities in the Territories, and the civil administration will move to the Treasury, which basically civilizes, so to speak, the territories, and actually a quasi annexation. Okay, now this is not going to pass very well, as you can imagine. Um, Obviously, there can be breakdowns on the way, since Ben Gvir, the minister of who's going to be the minister of internal security, will not forego the opportunity to go on the Temple Mount. And we all remember what happened when Arik Sharon went on the Temple Mount many years ago. It caused a lot of violence, and it's very likely that a repeat scenario will happen, and we may very well move the conflict from what is now a national conflict to a religious conflict, from a national conflict with the Palestinians to a religious conflict with Islam. Um, Shlomo Neiman, the head of the Yesha Council, said last week that after the terror attack in Ariel, um, he said that we have to take the Palestinians all hope. We have to take them all hope. That's a ridiculous statement. Okay, that's just the thought of taking people all hope. It means that they're. It's not doesn't mean they're going to be quiet. It doesn't mean that. It means that they're going to do what all they need to do in order to make themselves some hope, and that won't be good. So, on the background of these developments, new relations with the UN, with the Europeans, with the Americans, and also with the Arab states are about to develop. Every effort that we do to annex the territories, either straightforwardly or in a roundabout way, will meet very strong resistance from the international community, which is standing strongly behind Ukraine against Russia, against Russia's attempts to occupy and annex parts of Ukraine. And we're going to have one hell of a difficult time trying to explain to the world that our annexation and the Russian annexations are not one and the same. So that's going to be especially difficult since the International Court of Justice in The Hague is about to pass a judgment regarding the status of the territories, which is likely going to go against us. This is about to happen in the next week or two, when the United Nations will ask the Court of Justice to pass such a judgment, to pass to see what to determine the status of the territories. The effect, of course, of all this on the relationship between Israel and the international community will be very problematic. It will take the whole bandwidth of the relationship with many countries. The conflict will take the whole bandwidth of the relationship with many countries, and there won't be much left for the normal relations. And this will be, of course, especially relevant for the relationship with the Arab countries, which are sensitive and took a long time to develop, and they're going to suffer a lot. What also happens at the same time is that the expressions by members of the incoming coalition against diaspora Jewry are beginning to sink in. We're talking about a change in the law of return, where they want to limit, they want to cancel the rights of grandchildren to apply for citizenship to the Jewish state. The use of terminology to exclusive terminology, like they don't call Reform Jews Reform Jews, they call them reforms or progressives, and not progressive Jews. And this, together with the proposals by the Haredi Society to make it possible to separate men and women in the public sphere, all these are doing a lot of harm to the relations with the diaspora. This is a good time, if there ever was one, to propose an alternative to the solution to the conflict with the Palestinians. A government like the incoming one, which is very, very problematic, and there are all indications that it will deteriorate the conflict with the Palestinians into depths which until now haven't been seen in all aspects, demands from us to propose an alternative vision, which will make it possible to advance. Only such a vision that can also be implemented, will make it possible to gather political forces that are required to make it come true. And that's what we should be doing. So whoever wants to be in contact, please, through Facebook, Emanuel Shachaf, or the Federation Movement, or Identity, the Quest for Israel's Future, feel free. Thank you very much.